My name is Paula Boles, and I live in Western North Carolina. The community that we live in is Grace Chapel. It's a very close knit community where a lot of the farmers help each other. A lot of the farmers, not every farmer can afford to own all of the equipment necessary, that you need on a farm. And so it's a community where people will share. I guess about 30 years ago, my father-in-law had a massive stroke, and he went from farming the land to just totally debilitated. And since we lived there, basically gave us the land. So we were looking for things that we could do to make the farm viable, to maybe have an income, into our retirement years. And I tell you, the picture that they paint for a CAFO just sounds, if you've heard the words, it sounds too good to be true. But I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, they just have this business model that they show you, and it just seemed like um, a great investment. My husband always says it's not so much what they tell you, it's what they don't tell you. All the things they don't tell us is what eventually drove us almost to bankruptcy. But we actually went to them, and because we thought that sounded like a good idea. So we went in at $400,000 and started the business, and that was around 2000. After a couple of years, some of your equipment starts to show wear and tear, and you have to start replacing things. That environment is extremely caustic, and when you're in there every day, you don't realize what you're breathing, and they don't tell you any of that. And so after a year or two, you realize, you start having chest colds, you start getting things start bothering you, and you realize what it's coming from. And then when you see like a piece of metal, this huge metal heater, and it starts to rust, and it's only a couple years old because the ammonia and everything is so high. When you start to see the metal components erode, then you think, well, if I'm in here every day, what's it doing, to me physically? They promised you a raise. We raised birds for 15 years, and we were paid 4.5 cents a pound, never received a raise. And as our expenses went up, the money was just less and less. So, I mean, they just out and out lie to you about things that they're going to do. And, if you go into business with anyone, you've got a contract, and you're going to do certain things, and they're going to do certain things. And there's no mediation or anything going on like that. I mean, it's their way, the highway, or no way. I always tell people that it's like you're an indentured servant, because you bear all the burden, all the expenses, but yet you have no say so. And if you try to complain about it, you're just blackballed, and then it's just downhill from there. One Saturday after we'd been in the chicken house, just a miserable day picking up chickens, we were just, things were bad, we were just, like I said, on the verge of thinking we were going to lose the farm. And we watched that video, and all of a sudden we realized that, he's telling our story. What he's telling is what we're living. Plus, Tyson had told us that we needed to do some more upgrades. It was going to be about another $40,000-$50,000. We're going to have to go in debt. We just said, that's it. We can't do this. And so in May of 2015, we made the decision, and we sent them a certified letter requesting cancellation of our contract. And about 6 weeks later, they accepted it. We kind of took a month or two just to, try to overcome the shock and the stress and everything. And then we started trying to turn them into greenhouses. That was our first thought, was, because we had no cash flow. So we thought, what could we do with what we have? So we took the roof off of it, the tin roof, and put plastic on it, and took the sides off and basically turned it into a greenhouse. And that's how we got started. We didn't know how it was going to work, but, when when you're at the bottom, there's only one way up. So you just, kind of try to figure something out. And so fast forward about 10 years, we grow a variety of vegetable plants in the spring. We start late winter germinating them. We do a variety of vegetable plants. He does microgreens. I do flowers. And it's just turned into something that I used to cry about into a major passion. It's like because of all the misery, I never really saw the beauty that was there. And now that we're on the other side of it, everybody that comes out to the farm, we've got a beautiful view of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and everybody stands there at the greenhouses, and it's like they look out there and they see the beauty that I didn't even see for a long time. Most people that are farmers truly have a heart because they care about the land, they care about the environment, they care about taking care of things. If it's just for the money, most people aren't going to be a farmer. Think about what you want to do, what brings you joy, what will make your community a better place, and and ultimately, how can you serve those around you? And I think that's going to help you. That's going to bring you the greatest joy and the most success.